Hey, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about crowdfunding, Kickstarter, Indiegogo. We also talk about GoFundMe, nonprofit fundraising, personal crowdfunders, right? How do you actually raise money for a cause? How do you raise money for yourself? How do you raise money to start a business? Talk about all of that on today's YouTube channel. And today, I want to demystify a mega raise when it comes to crowdfunding and also kind of share a little bit of breaking news with you. So who's going to take away most value from this video? Number one, if you ever thought about starting your own crowdfunding site, you should listen to today's video because I'm gonna be sharing some really interesting techniques to kind of supercharge that if you've been thinking about starting your own crowdfunding site. Number two, if you're trying to raise money for a personal cause, a personal fundraiser of some sort, it could be even something related to medical bills, it could be something related to volunteer efforts, it could be something related to political affiliation, whatever it is, you're going to want to listen to today's video. And finally, if you've just been kind of wondering about how this whole crowdfunding thing works, I've been working literally since 2012 to bring to you the content, the cutting edge content to share with you exactly why people are supporting these campaigns. And I'm gonna share with you a mega secret today on the video. So I hope that you enjoy it, and it's coming up right after this. Okay, so again, my name is Salvador Briggman. Thank you for joining me on today's video, right? And a lot of things we're actually been talking about on today's video are housed in my book, Crowdfunding Personal Expenses, which is available on Amazon, available on Audible. You can grab a copy there. You can grab a copy if you want Audible, great to listen while you're going to work or you're, cleaning your room or you're doing whatever, you're cleaning the dishes or go running, let's go running here in Miami, it's great. You can go outside, whatever it is that you like doing, you can listen to Audible at the same time. So you can go and check that out down below. And I believe also they have some kind of a free trial where if you do a 30-day free trial, you also get a free copy of the book. And I think they're still running that promo, so you can go and check that out. That being said, what I want to talk about are the secrets that go into this mega raise and also provide some of the context that goes behind it. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the context to this. So first of all, when it comes to this, I got to put out a disclaimer, man. I am not looking to get into politics. I'm not interested in getting into religion. I'm not interested in getting into any of those kinds of topics here on this video or even my own perspective on this. I'm more interested in focusing on business, fundraising, crowdfunding, and techniques that go into making that work so it can be most helpful for you. Have to put out that preface. So that being said, there are basically all of these different trucker-led protests that were happening in Ottawa, Canada. And these truckers were basically protesting the COVID-19 mandates and masks and all the different things related to that. And honestly, I'm here in Miami and we have it pretty easy, right, when it comes to that. But I understand different areas of the country and also different areas of the world deal with different issues when it comes to this. And they were protesting, so they were trying to raise money to actually support this cause, to get the resources, the jet fuel needed to support this cause. So they decided to naturally run a GoFundMe campaign. Who knows? Maybe they even watched one of my videos, right? Maybe they're even a part of the GoFundMe cash machine. We've actually been having more people join the GoFundMe cash machine, and I don't know why, but I've been seeing just more and more students kind of pile in with this, and I think that's probably because of just the system and what we talk about and how it works. So what ended up happening was, they just trying to run a campaign on GoFundMe, and unfortunately, GoFundMe decided to shut them down. I know, right? These big tech companies always coming in, sometimes shutting down your ads, sometimes shutting down the fact that you can run a campaign. It is frustrating, right? It's frustrating. And it's also one of the reasons why with students, with clients, with all the people that we're working with, I always try to put them first. I try to put your best interest first because I think that makes sense. If you're the business owner, if you're the entrepreneur, if you're a student, it makes sense to put your interest first above these platforms and also some of the tools that we recommend, right, when it comes to raising money. So anyways, GoFundMe decided to close down this platform. And think of that, how would you feel if you were trying to raise money and all of a sudden a platform closed you down from your ability to do that just because they disagree with you, right? I don't think that's right necessarily. But anyway, kind of what happened was that this other niche alternative crowdfunding website, this is Give, Send, Go. They decided to step in and provide an alternative solution. So Give, Send, Go was started in 2015. There are a lot of different causes you can raise money for: missionary trips, medical bills, personal costs, etc. They were started in 2015. I believe they're also based in Boston. So they saw what was happening with GoFundMe. They saw that these guys were canceled with this GoFundMe platform campaign. And they stepped in and said, hey, you can run a campaign on our site. And guess what happened? So what ended up happening was they actually were able to raise money on GiveSendGo to the tune of $9.7 million. I know that's a mega amount of money. That's insane, right? These guys were able to raise money for $9.7 million for the Freedom Convoy of 2020. So not only were they able to raise money, but they also attracted more than 100,000 people that were supporting this campaign. Now, this goes again back to one of the major tenets that we talk about in the GoFundMe cash machine. And the big pillar, the big tenet that I talk about in that program is the fact that you need to make it so that it's easy for you. You don't want to be trying to push a boulder uphill, right? You don't want to be trying to trek up a mountain when it comes to crowdfunding. Instead, you want to be the guy who's going down that mountain skiing and snowboarding and having a really easy time throughout the process. You want to be, if you're going to be going sailing, right, on the river or Biscayne Bay, or you want to go on a bay, right, and to go sailing, you want to make sure the wind is at your back. And one of the things we talk about in the GoFundMe cash machine is the fact that you need to attach what you're doing to a major conversation that is happening in the public consciousness. What does that mean? That basically means attaching it to a news story, attaching it to a trend of some kind, or thinking about how you can fit your story into a discussion which is already unfolding publicly, right? Or on social media or with news stories, etc. And when you do that, it's almost like you're piggybacking on that overall trend, and you're far more likely to raise money as a result. And this is one of the tenets that we talk about in the GoFundMe cash machine. So that's exactly what happened here, right? Which is that the actual platform decided to attach themselves to that news story. They provided an alternative, and then the Freedom Convoy was able to raise $9.7 million with this crowdfunding campaign. And again, it goes back to the second tenet, right? And there's a bunch of different tenets when it comes to this. The second tenet is that you have to be aware of the emotions surrounding a particular cause, because emotion is like fuel, man, right? When you feel a strong sense of emotion towards something, you're more likely to take action, right? When you feel like this has to happen, when you feel anger, frustration, when you feel outrage, you're more likely to take action, right? And crowdfunding is all about understanding what gets people to take action. Why do people support causes? Why do people donate to causes? Why do they share them online? Why do they want to become a part of a community, right? If you understand the different levers that go into this, it's really easy to position your campaign for success. So anyway, these guys decided to do this, right? They launched this campaign. They ended up getting a bunch of money, right? $9 million, or 100,000 donations. And here's the kicker. The way that this platform is sort of outlined, or the way the fees work, they will capture a 15% recommended donation whenever someone actually donates to a new cause. So if you go, for example, on GiveSendGo and you try to donate to a cause, they're going to recommend, hey, would you mind, throwing us a little bit to just kind of help with operations? And as a result of doing this strategy that we talk about, as a result of attaching themselves to a news story, as a result of providing that opportunity, guess how much money they were able to raise for themselves as a crowdfunding website? Guess. They're able to raise over $640,000 in donations. My gosh, mind blown, right? Crazy, dude. It is crazy. And now they have 25 employees that are working remotely at this company. So the first thing you should take away is that, number one, if you are interested in starting your own crowdfunding website or crowdfunding platform, this is a great time to do it. I'm telling you, it's not something where it's like, oh, crowdfunding is no longer a big thing. It's happening. It's huge. I'm covering. I'm trying to share. I'm trying to break through the noise. I'm trying to get these stories to you, man, because I know that this information will literally change your life. This information is potentially worth millions and millions of dollars to you in value, right? These stories are happening. These acts are happening. This opportunity is here. So if you're interested in starting a crowdfunding website, this is a great time to do that, right? And I have a whole training video showing you how to even set it up very simply in a matter of a week if you want to. But in addition, there's a lot of marketing that goes into that. You can always book a coaching call with me if you want to talk more about kind of positioning your campaign and your platform for success in that way. The second thing you should take away is that, again, the more that you follow the tenets that we talk about in the GoFundMe cash machine, the more that you follow the things that work, the pillars of crowdfunding that I've worked years to excavate and to understand and present to you in an easy to understand format with templates, with worksheets, with plug and play when it comes to what you have to send in terms of emails, all that kind of stuff. The more you do that, the more you follow that, the easier it's gonna be for you, man. It's gonna be so much easier. And this is a great example of how emotions and news story and public discussion was able to result in funding, following those exact same tenets, okay? The other thing I want to mention really quickly here is, Give, Send, Go is, again, a niche crowdfunding website. And there are actually a lot of different crowdfunding websites that are out there beyond Kickstarter, Indiegogo, right? GoFundMe, the big ones that we talk about. There are a lot of different niche crowdfunding websites. And in some cases, I get a coaching student, someone comes to me, they book a coaching call and like, Sal, I'm trying to do this campaign, right? I'm trying to raise money for this. I have this product, or I have this cause, I have this idea, I have this thing that I want to get funding for. And I'll be like, I know you're trying to do this campaign maybe on Kickstarter or on Indiegogo or on GoFundMe or whatever, but actually this other platform would be a way better fit for you, right? So you don't really know what you don't really know. And sometimes there's actually platforms that are out there that are easier to raise money for particular types of causes, right? And even for particular types of political movements, etc. So always be aware of that. And the thing you should take away again is that even if you are running a campaign on an alternative platform, follow the tenets we talk about and you'll be far more successful with that. Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillrite is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description. So the other quick thing I want to really mention here with this video is that this is not something that is an isolated incident, okay? I have seen this happen again and again and again and again in the crowdfunding industry. And this is really just taking advantage again of opportunity. So how did even Give, Send, Go begin to get popular in the first place is the same way that GoFundMe started to get popular, is the same way that Indiegogo started to get popular, is the same way that Kickstarter started to get popular, right? And it's having one or two successful campaigns and using either a news event or using some kind of political event or using any kind of discussions in public consciousness in order to be the jet fuel for that happening, okay? So you should really listen up. For example, if you want to start your own crowdfunding site, this is like golden, man. So first of all, I think they got really popular when it comes to, they were first doing the Rittenhouse fundraiser and they ended up raising over $600,000 with that. That was in 2020. It started to kind of brand themselves as a Christian crowdfunding website and kind of get there. Since 2017, they've done over 2.6 million in donations to the website itself. And again, from reports with Times and other news stories, they have about 25 employees that are working at this company. So what does this mean for you? What should you take away from this news story? Besides the fact that crowdfunding is alive and well, besides the fact that what we talk about, what we teach does make an impact, besides the fact that this is something that you can do and it really is not rocket science in order to pull off one of these different campaigns, what should you really take away? What you should take away is that there is a formula. There is a system behind this. And the more that you can pay attention, the more you can study this industry. And again, you can run multiple crowdfunding campaigns if you want to. I've had students who have run 10 campaigns, 20 campaigns on Kickstarter, right? They've done them for board games. They've done them for gadgets. They've done personal crowdfunding campaigns, right? Done films, etc. I have so many different, across the board, there's so many different ideas, products, causes, personal endeavors, trying to raise money for a mission trip, trying to raise money for education. This is a tool that I've worked very hard to master. And this is something that, again, there is a formula, there is a process, there is a system behind this that if you follow can get you the results that you are seeking. Number two, you gotta assess where you are. So if you're trying to start your own crowdfunding website, go and check out some of my free videos on how to actually get set up with one of those different websites. If you're trying to do, for example, a personal fundraiser, great easy place to get started is my book, Crowdfunding Personal Expenses, or even one of my free courses when it comes to that. Really easy, low-hanging fruit. If you are serious about running one of these campaigns and you don't necessarily wanna do it all yourself and you just want someone to kind of hold your hand throughout the process and you want it to be very simple, plug and play, paint by numbers kind of thing, go and check out the GoFundMe cash machine because that literally has all of my templates. You can just like copy and paste this basically into a campaign as well as all the different major pillars and tenets so you understand what you are doing. It's not enough just to go out there and do the things that work. You also have to understand the process. You have to understand what it is that you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of a little bit lost. And you're also just not going to believe in the process. So we do make it easy for you, but also you got to obviously understand the process to a degree. The final thing is that I've really made a career out of being an effective business coach that gets results for my clients and my students. And to me, that's one of the most privileging things, to have people sending me emails, to have people sending me Instagram messages, to have people leaving comments, to have people reaching out. I've met people in person as well, right, who watch my videos, which is always like insane, mind-boggling, crazy that happens. And I feel so privileged to be able to be a teacher in this niche. But to me, what's most important is getting results for my students. And a lot of the times, what's holding you back isn't necessarily lack of know-how. And sometimes that is the case, but sometimes it's something that's a little bit more internal. Sometimes you need a little bit more organization in your life. Sometimes you need a little bit better strategy. Sometimes you need someone who can help you just kind of get serious about this, to inject your life with a new level of motivation and positivity and inspiration, and also hold you accountable to those different milestones. So one of the things I do, obviously, with my business coaching is I do help when it comes to strategically and also implementation of doing different crowdfunding campaigns as well as business, right? However, one of the other services that I think that we don't talk about enough is just the way that I affect people, the way that I make this a new period in your life where you're really moving into a tremendous upward spiral of opportunity that you've maybe never had the privilege of touching before, or that you've never really scraped the surface of before. And for a lot of people, this is one of the most difficult things, is just getting started. If you're trying to start a business, if you're trying to start a nonprofit, you're trying to start a fundraiser, or you're just trying to move to the next level when it comes to your career, you're trying to solve a problem, you have something that is difficult for you when it comes to raising money, this is a great opportunity for you to lock in a coach who can help you and hold your hand every step of the way. So I want to link down below to my coaching and some links there, and also some other free resources like I mentioned before. But this video is kind of meant just to kindle you, to get you excited, to get you thinking, to get you realizing that there is opportunity at your fingertips. And it maybe isn't even with me, right? Maybe I'm not the guy for you. Maybe I'm not the coach for you, but still, you should be taking action, right? This is free information. Go and check out my podcast with so many different success stories. Go and read some new stories yourself. See, this is happening. The train is leaving the station, right? This is being set sail. Get on the boat, get on the train. Come on, man. You gotta get this in order if you wanna use crowdfunding this year. My name is Salvador Briggman. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.